I bought a house, I've signed my loan contracts. I guess I'm ready to move in, right?
Well, today we're going to take you through everything that happens from when you sign the loan contracts to settlement.
You're almost on the final stretch now, but there are a couple of steps to know about, including a couple of ideas on what you do in a pre-settlement inspection. Nados?
Let's dive right in.
So this is the exciting part. You've found your house, you've got your loan approved, you've signed the contracts, and now you're just waiting for the day when they hand over the keys. But to start off with, what is a property settlement?
So basically a property settlement is the exchange of the property moving from the vendor or the owner's name originally into your name. So at that settlement, the loan is drawn down, the funds are given to the other party that you've purchased the property for, and you get the title and also the mortgage.
One thing to note here is you don't actually need to be there on the settlement day when the bank's handing over the checks. Your solicitor or conveyancer will take care of that. All you need to worry about is the phone call from them saying it's all settled and when you can go to the real estate agent to get your keys. So let's walk through the 4 things you need to do between now when you sign the loan contracts and your property settlement.
Step number 1, transfer the remaining funds of your deposit. Jayden, how does this work?
Yeah, so you might have paid down a 5 or 10% deposit on the initial contract when you signed it all that time ago, but now's the time when you need to transfer the balance or the rest of your deposit from either your other account to the new bank's day-to-day account, or in some cases, like Nathan said, you'll put it straight in the solicitor's account. The best way to work out how much to put in that account or have available is to speak to your solicitor, and they'll tell you, yep, Nathan, on Monday, you're gonna need to have at least $20,000 in there. Bit of a hot tip there, try and have it at least 3 to 4 days in the account, all cleared and ready to go to make sure you don't delay settlement.
And a quick tip here with transferring funds to your solicitor, it's always wise to call your solicitor and double check the BSB and account number to make sure you're transferring it to the right party. Tip number 2, set up your banking.
So your new home loan might be with a completely new bank, and you might not have internet banking set up yet. A good one to know is you don't need to wait until the day of settlement to have this stuff set up. You can get the process rolling as soon as you've signed those contracts. The best thing to do is just give the new bank a call. Make sure your internet banking's set up, and even use this opportunity to set up any offset accounts, credit cards if you want, and make sure they're all linked up and ready for the day of settlement.
Step number 3, prepare to move house.
In the days leading up to settlement, you want to start to prepare all the services and make sure when you move into that house, you've got electricity, gas, water, internet, phones, all that stuff connected, so when you turn up, you don't get there and you can't plug in the fridge.
That's right, Jayden. We've actually got a moving house checklist. You can access it free on our website under huntergalloway.com.au/resources. And the final step is the pre-settlement inspection, sometimes known as your final inspection.
So just before settlement, you'll have the opportunity to go back and check out the house before you take over ownership and make sure everything's the way it was a couple of weeks ago when you last saw it. The way to arrange this is just get in touch with the real estate agent, and on the morning or the day before settlement, just ask to arrange a quick check and have a look in the house. So the things you should check for include,
are all appliances working?
Is there any damage to the property since you signed the contract? Any kicks in the walls or cupboards missing?
And if you've agreed to have repairs done to the property, have they been complete and are they up to standard?
And lastly, has there been any rubbish left on the property? This actually happened to me at my place that I bought a couple of years back. I went and did my pre-settlement inspection. I was all excited, I was gonna pick up the keys in the afternoon, and I found out they'd left a bunch of bricks and just random debris under the house. I wasn't gonna go through settlement to have to remove these people's junk, so I ended up getting in touch with the solicitor, got in touch with the real estate agent, arranged a $500 reduction to be paid to me to arrange someone to get rid of all those bricks and rubbish and not delay settlement. So that's the process you need to follow when you've signed your loan contracts and waiting for settlement. But as always, there's always a lot of questions in this process. So Nathan, we're gonna go through a couple of the most frequently asked questions in this stage of the process. So first question, Nathan, can I change the settlement date? I might wanna move in early or move a bit later. Is it possible?
Well, the standard settlement time in Queensland is 30 days. In New South Wales, it's 42 days. So it can be common for buyers to want to move in earlier. Now, if that's the case for you, you can contact your solicitor who'll talk to the other party to see if they can make arrangements to move settlement forward.
Typically, the settlement date is agreed on the contractor's sale. So if it's already been set as 30 days, the sellers don't have to agree to either move it forward or put it back. It's entirely up to you guys all kind of agreeing on the right date. So the next question, Nathan, is when do I actually pay my stamp duty?
The stamp duty is payable on settlement and is taken care of by your solicitor who will write the bank check out to the Office of State Revenue. Now, some states actually have a 30-day rule. So if you have a long settlement, longer than 30 days, stamp duty might be applicable on the 30th day after the contract has gone unconditional. However, there are ways to delay this. Once again, all arranged through your solicitor.
All right, Nathan, so this is the great part. When do I actually pick up my keys on the day of settlement? Can I go there before work or what time?
Well, the real estate agent will want confirmation from your solicitor to say settlement's all gone through and the transfer of ownership is now in your name. Once that happens, you can go to the real estate agent's office and pick up the keys.
All right, Nathan, and the last, most frequently asked question we get asked once you've signed loan contracts and you're ready to settle is, when's my loan repayment due?
Your first loan repayment isn't actually due until 1 month after the settlement date. So if the settlement date was the 15th of June as an example, well then you've actually not got a repayment due until the next month, July the 14th. So it's usually due 1 month after the settlement date.
This was all set up when you signed the loan contracts with your bank or mortgage broker. So if you've made weekly repayments, it'll be a week after settlement, fortnightly repayments a fortnight after, and so on. So just check in with the bank. Again, when you make that initial phone call to say, hey, are my account set up? Is my offset all good? You can also check in with them and say like, what repayment frequency do I have? And when do I have to make repayments on this loan?
So that's it for today, guys. If you've liked today's video, please give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit us up at huntergalloway.com.au.